What's up guys? In today's video I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you how to create a trading bot with Bollinger bands. It is actually something very simple, but I realized that I haven't done a video like this with the Bollinger bands. Very easy. By the way, I'm going to do a little bit of a spam, and right now you can access to my website in which I have my MQL5 course. So what you just have to do is that you put here, www.komaku.es, and this is the website. You have the course in Spanish and English. You just click here on search and you have it here. This course is to see everything from the beginning and it is guided. So you go step by step. And also there is a Discord server in which you can join, and there are a lot of exercises and all that. So yeah, enough with the spam. Let's continue. And what we have to do right now is to open MT5, MetaTrader 5. Okay, so let me open this. And what we are going to do is that we are going to do that bot. So once this opens, we are going to click here in the IDE. And now, okay, let's remove all this. We don't want any of this. And let's click on new expert advisor. We are going to give it a name. For example, Bollinger bands. Next, finish. And yeah, we are ready to go. Let's make this bigger so you can see that better, and let's take all the code and we remove everything. So let's just start by the beginning. First of all, we need a handler to handle the Bollinger bands. So we are going to create a variable, an integer, which is going to be called like this. Now the strategy is going to be very simple, and is that if there is a candle in which there is a cross with the upper or lower band, then we are going to open a buy or a sell. So since we need that, what we need is that we are going to, we need actually an array to store the Bollinger up and another array to store the Bollinger down, the upper and the lower band. Okay, perfect. So now that we have this, we also need the candles. So we are going to create an array called MQL rates. Let's call these candles, and this is an array. Perfect. And now, as always, we are going to create our own event, which is the onInit. So this event gets executed only once when we start the bot. And what we are going to do is that we are going to initialize the handle of the indicator. How? By calling iBands. So we put here the data that we need. For example, we need the symbol, the current period, and now we need to send the parameters of the Bollinger bands. So for example, the moving average period is 20, there is no shift, the deviation is 2, and this is applied to the price close. Okay, so this is the first time that we are going to see me handling errors here, but it's actually something very simple. You just have to put here if Bollinger handle, the handle is equal to invalid handle, then we have a problem. So what we are going to do is that we are going to print a message which is error loading the indicator. And what we are actually going to do here is that we are going to return. We are not going to do anything. Perfect. So now we are also going to initialize this, although I think that we don't really need to initialize this yet. So what we are going to do is that we return init succeeded, and I forgot that up here when we have an error, we have to return init failed. If you don't want to return anything, you just have to put here void and you just put return, and you don't need to return anything. Also, we are going to use another event, which is the one on the init. This one will allow us to close the connection between the handler and the indicator so that we are more efficient. How do we do this? We have to declare the event, and here what we have to do is that we have to check if the Bollinger H is different than invalid handle, it is not invalid. If the handle is not invalid, then we are going to call the function indicator release. And we are going to send the Bollinger. That's it, perfect. So now it is time to start with the logic of the bot. Here, we are going to declare another event, which is the onTick. So on every tick, we have to do something. And that something is copy buffer. And you can see that we need the handle. So we send the handle. We are going to load the indicator data. Buffer num, this is important, but I'm just going to tell you that if we want the upper band, you just have to put here upper band. And if you want the lower band, you just have to put here lower band. So actually we want the upper band, and now we need the starting position. We are going to take the last candle, the very last candle. So we just want one, okay, and we are going to store this in an array. Since this is the upper band, we are going to store this in Bollinger up. That's it. Fine. So what else? Then we have to do the same thing for the lower band, but we already know how to load the upper band, so the lower one is very simple. We are going to change this to down, that's it. And now we need to also load the array. So, well, the candles, sorry, the array of candles. So instead of using copy buffer, we are going to use copy traits. Okay, we put here the symbol, the current period, then from which point do we want to start taking things? From the very last candle, so we put a 0. If you want the previous of the last, we would put a 1, but we just want the last. We want just one candle, and we are going to store this in the candles array. Okay, so now we have loaded all the information that we need. Now we need to start checking conditions to open a buy or a sell. So for example, here, we are going to check the buy condition, which is going to be a function that we are going to later declare. Also, we are going to check if we are in a new candle, which is a function that is a condition that we are going to declare now. And also, let's put here all operations closed. We are going to check that all the operations are closed. For the sell, we have to do basically the exact same thing, else if, but now is the sell condition. Then we are going to check that we are in a new candle, and again we are going to check that all the operations are closed. Okay, so how do we declare these functions? It is something very simple. Here we are going to come here and remember that in order to declare a function, we just need several things, 3 things. We need, first of all, what it returns. Since this is a condition, we have to return a boolean. Now we have to give it a name, and the name is going to be the same one as we have put here by condition, then the parameters, but now the important part is the code. So we are just going to return a condition and, well, the result of checking something. And we need to check some things. Look, it is going to be the condition very simple. If the last candle has the low below the lower band and the close is above the lower band, then we are going to open a buy. So how do we declare that? How do we put that into code? It is something very simple. Okay, we said that if the last candle 0, the low is below the Bollinger, the lower band, yeah, here, and the candle's close is above the Bollinger down, then we are going to open a buy. Okay, and what about the sell condition? It is actually almost the same. Instead of buy here, we put sell, and now we have to change something. So for example, if the high of the candle is above the upper band, let's put here, if the high is above the upper band and the close is below the upper band, then we are going to open a sell. That's it, that's right. Okay, what else? We need to declare these 2 other functions, new candle and all operations closed. These functions are actually very simple. let's start with new candle. Since it is in a condition, checking in a condition in an if, then we need to return a Boolean value. And here we are going to put new candle. And in order to do this, what we are going to do is that we are going to count the bars. So we have here a variable and we are going to do the following. Okay, we are going to count the current bars. And for that, we are going to call this bars function. We put the symbol, the current period. And now what we are going to do is that, okay, if the current bars, if that number is different than the bars, which is the previous bars loaded, well, saved, then this means that there is a new bar, since we have checked. So what we are going to do is that, okay, in that case, we update the value of this number and we return true. Why? Because there is a new bar. In any other case, if we do not go inside the if, we are going to return false. Perfect. And now let's do the other function, which is the all operations closed. How do we check this? Okay, for this we need something else, and is that we are going to start declaring what we need for opening positions. We need to include a library called trade. We are going to put here trade.mqh, that's it. And now we declare an object called seedTrade. So we declare this object, and we also need a variable, an unsigned long trade ticket, to store the trade ticket of the operation that we are going to open. So having this, what we are going to do now is that we are going to take this function, all operation closed, and we are going to check that if the operation stored in this ticket is closed. How? There is a function called position select by ticket. So now we send the ticket, and this returns true if there is an operation opened. So what we have to do is that we have to return the opposite. How do we put the opposite? The not gate. That's it. So we are almost there. So now we need to open positions. How? Very simple. First of all, we are going to we need two values. For the buys, we need the ask, which is, well, we can get it from symbol info double. We put here the symbol and symbol ask, that's it. But the problem is that this can return a lot of decimals and can give us issues. So we are going to call normalize double so that we have the digits that we want, and the digits are the current number of digits. And now we are going to do this exact same thing for the bit. Instead of symbol ask, we are going to put here symbol bit. Perfect. So now we are going to open a buy. How? We are going to use that object, that seedTrade object that we declared before, and we put trade buy. The volume is going to be fixed, like 0.1. Then current symbol, then the current price, which is the ask, and then this depends on you. Like the stop loss is going to be, I don't know, 50 points below. So to put that it is going to be 50 points below the current price, we put ask minus 50, but we have to multiply this 50 by the value of each point. Perfect. The take profit, for example, is going to be above, in this buy, 150 points. So we put this, and here instead of multiplying, we have to add. That's it. Now we need to store the trade ticket, and we store the trade ticket by calling another method, which is the result order. If I'm not wrong, let me check. I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, result order, that's it. Okay, so now we also need to create a cell, and it is actually almost the same. So I'm going to take all this, put here cell, but now this changes because we need to use the bit. Here we need to use the bit as well, but the stop loss in this case is above, and the take profit in this case is below, and we need to use here the bit. So actually I think that we have finished. Okay, we have some errors, and here it is telling me that close is not a member of array type, candles. Oh yeah, here I'm wrong. Oh my god, here I have to put this, not like this. So the array is the candles, not the close value, and now we have everything perfect. So we have compiled, and let's check if this works. Remember, you have to go to the strategy tester, and if I'm not wrong, it's Control R. Yeah, you press Control R, or you just click here on View, Strategy Tester, and here we are going to select the Bollinger bot, which is somewhere here. I have a lot of bots. Bollinger bands, that's it. And we are going to use this in, I don't know, Forex Major, AUSD, and let's put here the last month. So we click, remember that we also need to use the based on real ticks, visual mode, and now we click on start. And okay, you can see that sometimes this opens operations, and yeah, it is actually doing what we want. So for example, this one, it seems that it's going to take a lot of time, but yeah. So for example, there it opened another position, but the bot is not very good. But at least the thing is that you know now how to create a trading bot using the Bollinger bands. That's what I want. I'm not a trader. This is what I want, that you understand how to do this. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if so, give it a like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one.